Hi guys, my name is Dee. This is Heroine's Corner. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to talk about my 5 favorite current comic book ongoings. So I feel like I'm currently subscribed to about 18 comic book series, maybe close to 20. I have unofficial subscriptions as well, but I don't want to count because I'm supposed to be not getting so many comic books in a month really. But I'm on about 18. Some of them haven't officially started yet, so some of them issue 1 is starting in February or March or even April. So I guess right now I'd say maybe 10, 12 is most likely the realistic figure, and I just thought it'd be interesting to do a video like this every how many months in a year again, maybe every 3 to 4 months, closer to 4, maybe 5 months, just to see how my favorite ongoings have changed throughout the year. I feel that would just be a very interesting little experiment to do essentially. So yeah, so these are my favorite ongoings, including miniseries, including non-miniseries. I'm basically including everything DC, Marvel, indie. So yeah, so this should be fun. And to be honest, I haven't even rattled down what my top 5 are, so this is going to just be pure instinct. These are my favorite comic books I'm currently reading at the moment. So the first comic book I'm going to talk about, I wouldn't even say is my favorite among this bunch, but I don't know, I still love it. All the comics I'm going to talk about in this video I love, but yeah, I would say this is probably not my favorite out of the top 5. The comic I'm talking about is Storm by Murawa Aladele, who is the writer, and then you have Lucas Winnick, who is the artist. So I believe the series started somewhere around August, September, definitely the second half of the year. And I was so excited to start because oh my god, it's Storm, and oh my god, it's a new ongoing. I could just jump in and not be completely confused by everything. So I was just really excited to start the series anyway. But the art is so gorgeous. It's every issue, it doesn't matter if the issue is a bit weak or whatever, the art is so strong. The interior art is so beautiful. I absolutely love how Storm has the iconic white cloud curly afro hair. Everyone can love the mohawk. I'm not a hater of a mohawk, but the cloud hair, guys, the cloud hair is just so gorgeous. And also I feel Aladele writes Storm with so much regality. I don't even know if that's a word. Regalness just oozes out of his Storm, and I can just tell there's a lot of intention and care to the character and the crafting of the character. The current storyline now is really interesting. It's a bit slow, so if you don't like slow paced storylines, and maybe jump on the next arc, which should be beginning soon, maybe even now. Don't quote me on that, as this is my first ongoing Storm series I'm following. I really do just enjoy it. I'm really enjoying it, and I feel Aladele is just doing an amazing job, and I need Lucas Wernick to just please keep on the interiors. I don't know when he's gonna jump off, because he's been doing the interiors for about 4 5 issues now, so he's bound to jump off at some point, but hopefully it's not anytime soon. So the next favorite ongoing in this video is The Power Fantasy by Kieran Gillen, who is the writer, and then you have Casper Vingard, who is the interiors artist. And this is a comic by Boom Studios, or maybe it's Image Comics. And it started again in the second half of 2024. Describing the power fantasy would basically be if the Cold War was for superheroes, in a sense of these superheroes, each of these 6 individual people has the power to end the world, and they are making an active decision not to end the world. And how does that happen? How do you come to a compromise within these 6 groups of people to not just murder everyone when you have so much great power. They all have like different ideologies, and this was just such a golden egg for me in 2024. I absolutely love it. Like, philosophical discussions are happening within the comic and about like morality, ethics, power, responsibility. It's just so good. And it's, you know, you're talking about like, I guess, like superheroes, but they're not superheroes. They're basically just random people who got given extraordinary abilities. They're trying to coalesce, they're trying to do things collaboratively, they're trying not to, you know, scare world governments, but also, yeah, scare world governments, because the world governments want to also like harm them. It's a very intricate story that's going on, and still I feel like I need to like reread some issues just as more context builds. It's taking a little break now, but I believe it's coming back in February with a new arc. So if you want to jump on the power fantasy, like, this is the time to jump onto power fantasy. Like, I am pushing the power fantasy like towards you guys. The writer's name might sound a bit familiar because this is the writer who did The Wicked and the Divine, which I believe I did read. Like, I believe I got volume 1 at some point in my life, but I did really like the premise of The Wicked and the Divine, and I know that is like a very popular comic here on BookTube. So yeah, if you like The Wicked and the Divine, please jump on the power fantasy. If you're interested in The Wicked and the Divine, but it has like loads of volumes now, jump on power fantasy. Honestly, there's only 1 volume right now. That's about 6 issues. But as I said, a new arc is starting in February, so this is the time to just, yeah, to just get on board. Like, honestly, get on board. The next ongoing I'm going to talk about is Absolute Wonder Woman by Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman, and this is the run of the initial Absolute kind of comics that we got: Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman. This is the series that I've stuck to. I've dropped the rest of them. I did try to drop it sometime in like December, but I picked it up on a whim because I was like, oh, I have like a bit of extra change this week, let me just pick it up. I believe like it's even on my wall. Like, there's a beautiful cover I'll put somewhere, and I was just like, oh gosh, like, it's sometimes cover buys are cover buys, like, honestly. So I picked it up, and Kelly Thompson is just doing a terrific job at Wonder Woman. If you don't know, DC is currently doing like this new alternate universe called like the Absolute Universe, and it's kind of like these characters in the most like dire situations as possible. So you have Batman, who like hasn't got money. I guess being poor is like the most nightmare scenario for Batman. Didn't even realize that, like, the universe is literally touted as like, this is the worst thing. Like, our thingy, our protagonists are up against the odds. It's like, okay, Batman's like poor. I mean, like, being poor isn't good, but like, that's the worst scenario for him. I digress. Superman wasn't with the Kent family. This Wonder Woman is like a witch raised in hell by Cersei, and it's absolutely brilliant. Like, I just love how much, again, like, intention and care has been put into the creation of this type of Wonder Woman, and she's so like charming, charismatic, and so heroic, but like these edgy little like tidbits that she could like do magic, she could pull out a humongous sword. I'm just enjoying myself too much with Absolute Wonder Woman. I couldn't like actually just play it down. It's still not even on my official pull list. I just like hope and pray if I want to go to the comic book store, it's also there. Honestly, hugest shout out to Hayden Sherman. The art is gorgeous, and when the art matches the tone of the story, it's like a match made like in heaven. Yeah, that's the saying. Like, it's just so beautiful and perfect. Like, you just want to read more, you just want to be in that world of the comic. I would say that this ongoing is my favorite, just because I just adore it, and that is Batman and Robin Year One by Mark Waid and Chris Samney. Honestly, you know what I mean? I know that Mark Waid isn't like everyone's cup of tea. Like, I think some people think he's slightly lackluster, and his older stuff were like his, you know, his golden days. But I am enjoying Mark Waid writing baby Dick Grayson, essentially, Richard Grayson. with Batman, with a younger Bruce, and he's just writing this dynamic so well. This is how I would envision the Robin, Batman, Dick Grayson, Bruce Wayne dynamic in the year one. Like, it's just so it's so new for the both of them. Robin is just acting like a complete like child, essentially, just complete maverick, kind of uncontrollable, kind of just leading with like his heart. And you have Bruce just trying to like keep his kid safe and, you know, cared for. Dick Grayson is one of my favorite comic book characters. Like, I feel like that is such like a lukewarm take. Like, everyone loves Nightwing, but it was really through World's Finest, which is also done by Mark Waid and initially like Dan Moira. But I really just loved Dick Grayson as Robin. I just love like the cheekiness and like the performative aspects like to all of his characters, because he's basically fresh from the circus. I just absolutely love like reading Dick Grayson as Robin, but I'm enjoying this as like hopefully the definitive story moving forward in regards to like Batman and Robin year one and their dynamic, because it's just absolutely, it's so fun. Chris Samnee, I've been like a far away admirer of Chris Samnee's work. I always appreciate it, I always really like it, but I've never been like, I haven't been reading an ongoing with Chris Samnee. So to read an ongoing with Chris Samnee is just absolutely beautiful. I believe he's doing his own coloring inside as well, because I have huge kudos to the coloring as well. If it's not Chris Samnee doing the coloring, I believe it's like Matthew Lopez. Like, either way, the coloring's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, like, I have no notes, guys. It's just absolutely beautiful reading a young Dick Grayson comic being this good. Like, I'm sold. This shouldn't really come as a surprise after all the gushing I've been doing for the last couple of minutes. So the last spot on this list is Nightwing by Dan Waters and Dexter Soy. As a newish Nightwing fan, having the chance to just jump on with a new like creative team, new arc, new storyline, it's been a gift. You know what I mean? Because I know Tom Taylor did a humongous run for Nightwing. I heard mixed things about Tom Taylor, I'm not gonna lie. I heard mixed things about his Nightwing run, and I got into Nightwing firstly. How did I get into Nightwing? Well, it was first, I feel like World's Finest through, you know, Dick Grayson being Robin, but then I did read the Nightwing run in the 90s. Like, that is the run that I'm still actually trying to like finish and read. So that is like the comic book run that I really got me into like Nightwing. And that run is like a lot more dark, it's a lot more like gritty, it's a lot more like grounded. And I was just hearing that Tom Taylor's run is a bit of con candy, so I was like, okay, let me just like, I'll just wait. Like, I was very lucky that I could jump on with a new like creative team. So right now, Dan Waters and Dexter Soy, absolutely loving this run, especially Dexter Soy's art. It's very kind of blunt, very in your face, very like bold lines. I'm absolutely adoring it. It's just, you know what I mean, I'm like, oh, this is the type of art that got me into Nightwing, so I'm very appreciative of it. But also Dan Waters, he's crafting a gritty, uncompromising story. I'm liking how little elements of like Dick's life are like coming into play as well. I will say the villain isn't like my absolute favorite villain, but right now I'm just like, it's a competent Nightwing run. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the art. It's, you know, going at a good pace. I really understand how people get invested in these comic book runs, because as soon as you read like a writer do something really weird with your favorite character, it just like, ugh, it's like one of the worst things that could ever happen in your life, honestly. So those have been my top 5 favorite comic book ongoings. You have Storm, you have a Power Fantasy, you have Absolute Wonder Woman, you have Batman and Robin Year One, and then you have Nightwing. I enjoy all of these for a lot of different reasons, but mostly because they're competently written, amazingly well drawn. Please let me know if you're interested in getting into any of the comics I mentioned in this video, or if there's any recommendations you have based on like my top 5 ongoings. But that's it. I'll see you guys soon in another video soon. Bye.